Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing this morning? Joe. Morning, man. We gonna talk about some new 40K missions? Is that what's happening today? Because I'm ready for it. So, yeah, I did. I read through the article this morning. I was having trouble opening the page, but once I got it open, I was able to read through it. Yeah, good stuff though. I don't know. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to a little change up. Talking about. Oh, okay, I see how it is. Thanks for including me. I have two armies without a lot of battle line. I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, the secret missions seem really good, which is good because gambits were awful. I heard of someone using a gambit once, and that was it. So yeah, that's a hopefully positive thing. The battle line stuff, I don't know if that will be as big of a deal. Yeah, I heard tale of someone using a gambit. Yeah, it was actually Scary from the Scarred class cast or whatever. He used it in a tournament and he said it worked. Like he won the game because of it, which is impressive, but not necessarily a statistic, more just an anecdote. So yeah, I like so here I'll go ahead and jump into the get in here. I like I like that you don't have to roll a die. It's not like you do all the crazy thing and then on a 5-up or whatever you get the points. And the fact that they're secret, I think, is really interesting. So it makes your opponent kind of have to second guess and plan for all contingencies. You can draw secret missions if you're down in primary. You can swing it in turn 4 and still use a secret mission. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Secret missions, they might end up being a little more of a standard thing at this point. What if there's a whole meta that comes out where you want to be down by a couple points? Like at the end of turn 3. So you can get the secret mission and just bump yourself up 20 points. That'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious. I know people are going to try it. Yeah, a lot of it reflects... Okay, so there's one where you... Is there one where you tell the opponent, like the opponent has to pick 3 units? Was that a secret mission or was that just a secondary? Can't remember now. Your enemy must be battle shocked, below half or dead, you get 20 VP. That's a secondary. Okay. I mean, that's a good one though. Like, if you're down on points but you're just clobbering the enemy, like what a good secret mission to play, right? A good gambit. And if you're down by a ton of points, if it's like 60 to 20, like that's not going to help you. But hey, Miyati, how you doing? Yeah, always cautiously optimistic with these, but we won't hear much about those for the next couple months, I assume. Or at least the next month or two. I imagine at the end of June they'll release those. So we got a solid month and a half. I was honestly wondering when they were going to change out the mission pack. Kind of surprised they sat on the one mission pack for a year. I'm happy with that. Gives everybody time to understand things and things to develop and all that. So good. Top tables will probably be easy to predict what people are up to. I feel most people, more finesse armies, are going to go for the finesse play and of losing to win. Yeah. losing to win. That's a great way to put it, though. People are going to try that. I don't think the top players will try that. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it'll become so meta that like that's what you want to do. You want to keep the game close. Could you imagine people choosing not to get a secondary because if they do, they know their opponent will be able to use their gambit or whatever and jump 20 points? Yeah, it'll probably come with a data slate update. So yeah, we're looking at like June, right? Yeah, I mean the Battle Shock thing helps those Battle Shock armies. And I noticed another thing. There was one mission rule they showed off with Battle Line doing an action on an objective, and at the end of the opponent's turn, you get points. Was that a primary mission? I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was very specific. It was at the end of your opponent's turn, which means if you have Battle Shock shenanigans that you do on people, they last until the start of the command phase of your opponent's, or of your own command phase. So if if you're trying to do an action, your opponent Battle Shocks your unit during their turn, you don't get to do the action. Yeah, the terraforming primary mission. Yeah, so those armies that do Battle Shock like in their own turn to the enemy are a lot stronger with those kind of objectives. Yeah, anything forcing Battle Shocks on enemy units will be a lot better. Rapid escalation is interesting. How many points people have? Deep strike. Yeah. And I mean, battle line units tend to be cheap anyway. So, yeah, coming in on turn 1 is cool. We're highlighting gold today. I did a couple highlights last night. Been having fun painting this mini. Demons are going to have Skull Cannon meta? No. I have no idea what a Skull Cannon even does, so I don't know. Yeah, it seemed interesting. And there's a lot of big announcements coming out next week or so. This is a Terminator. Yes, Cucumber Brand. This is a actually Tartarus Terminator Praetor. Is like a captain in Horus Heresy. So yeah. Cool mini. Looks really cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. It was a mini I printed, and also it's a bit of a kit bash. But I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I like the level of details. The print turned out solid, so I'm just happy overall with this mini. If they force a Battle Shock tech. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey Fulton, how you doing? So I was listening to the Poor Hammer podcast this morning. I didn't finish it. I don't know if I'll finish it, but they were talking about the leaks and rumors about the next Total War game, which is apparently, well, it's one of two things, but there are two games in the works at Creative Assembly. One is a World War I Total War with a new engine on the game, so they're getting rid of their it's a Warscape engine or whatever. The other one is Warhammer 40k Total War. That is the leak. And I guess there's some loose information about Warhammer 40K Total War. And I think it was fun listening to their podcast. I think they got a lot of stuff wrong, or I think they're like misinterpreting and kind of misjudging some things. I know they both play Total War, but it seems like they didn't follow it like super hard. I don't know, but yeah, I have opinions on that and what a possible 40K Total War will look like. You referring to? Did you check it out from Legend of Total War? I did not watch Legend of Total War's video. I occasionally watch his streams and stuff. I did not see that specific video, but I read a lot of the discussion. Sequels 40. Yeah, so let me explain something. If you're not familiar with Warhammer Total War, this first trilogy of games, what they are and what they were originally supposed to be was when Creative Assembly announced that they were making Total War Warhammer, it was after Age of Sigmar came out, because I don't think Games Workshop would give them the rights to one of their main games to basically, you know, make a video game copy, quote unquote, of their games. So, you know, Age of Sigmar came out, CA was able to release Warhammer Total War. First one came out in 2016. And CA announced originally, this is going to be a trilogy of games. We are going to try to put everything we can into these games. There's going to be 3 games, eventually encompassing the entirety of the Warhammer world. It's like the Warhammer fantasy, you know, world or whatever. So they knew that from the start. And the Warhammer guys, I think they misstate that. They say that they didn't think that Warhammer Total War was supposed to be 3 games from the start, but it ended up being a trilogy. It absolutely was supposed to be a trilogy. So when they released the first game, everybody knew that eventually most or all of the factions in Warhammer Fantasy were going to make their way into Total War. I didn't know there were Sigmas in 40K. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like you're gonna get me with something here. So they released the first game, and when the first game came out, they put out like rapid fire DLC for that game. They released 3 factions, 3 whole like races to the game. And they put out a bunch of DLC that added like more lords and content for the existing factions, all within an 18-month window. It was about every month or month and a half they had a new DLC come out. And it was great. I bought up every one. I pre-ordered every single one of them because I knew what I wanted, and it was everything that game was. The second game lasted, that was 2016. Second game was about 4 or 5 years it was out. I think it was close to 5 years actually. A life cycle in that game. They released a ton of DLC, a ton of races for the game. They did a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the second game, and they're in the third game right now. They have basically all the factions. There's like one more faction people think they could release. That was an old like mercenary faction called the Dogs of War. So there's speculation they're going to do that, but then that's about it for the races. Internet brain rot? Okay, I don't know. But yeah, 40K being a 3-game like a trilogy of games makes perfect sense. It's on a new engine, so we don't quite understand how the gameplay will work, because Total War, I don't think Creative Assembly has used a different engine since 2008 or something. Never. Napoleon Total War came out, I think was their first game on their current engine. So there's, I don't know, there's a lot there. And I do think they'll release with 4 factions, and the 4 factions I think they'll release for. Apparently, 3 of them are part of the leak, which is Space Marines, Orcs, and Chaos. They said the 4th one is Tyranids. I don't think so. I think the Tyranids will be a big bad faction for the 2nd or 3rd game. Hey, Glipsy. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that, and welcome in. Okay, we got that gold. Let's get some bright gold, but first we're going to hit this base because we need to paint this base as well. They're right about them porting over the demons. I don't think it'll necessarily be a port. I think it's just they have the art done. I still don't know if demons will be in game 1. I don't know. The entire army in that purple would look good. You talking about the cape that I'm painting? I could see demons as a DLC for game 1, but I think it would be later. Yeah, I mean, that would be a great color. I love that. It's a dark plum with a plum highlight from Pro Acryl. Fantastic color. These will be background noise or soupy stuff you can put into Chaos Armies. Yeah, I think there's going to be some of that. I think there will be like incursions and risks of demons, maybe in game 1, you know, kind of having the units present. And then I think toward the end of the game 1 life cycle, they'll put out a DLC that lets you play as demons. That's what I think will happen. I don't think the 4th starting faction will be Tyranids. Tyranids are too much of a big bad to be put as like a 4th faction when you already have Chaos in there. Like, Chaos will be the big bad in game 1. Space Marines will obviously be the big good guy, but if they're doing 4 factions, you need 2 good guys and 2 bad guys. And so the other good guy faction they'll put out is going to be Eldar. It'll be just like Dawn of War 1. Space Marines, Orcs, Chaos, and Eldar. Because Eldar are a generally good guy faction. I'm just drinking my own Kool-Aid, but it seems as though things are gradually shifting toward Chaos being the big antagonist. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they always hint at that. I wouldn't put that as any kind of shift. Tebrin, what's going on? They're just misunderstood, yeah. So, yeah, I think Eldar will be the other, like the 4th game 1 faction. Horus did nothing wrong. Just all the genocide, you know. I can see DLC. One of the DLC factions I can see is Guard. Guard will either be a DLC in game 1, or they will be the big protagonist in the launch of game 2. It was all natural deaths. Yeah. I mean, they were dying anyway. That entire planet all at the same time. 2 explosions. Nostalgic when I played as a kid, and the looming enemy in the backdrop was Chaos. Yeah, I can see that. I'm doing great, Miyadi. I hope you're doing really well too. Yeah, I think part of this will be Creative Assembly capitalizing on different Space Marine chapters. So basically selling reskins, maybe with a faction commander. You know, you get your Tor Garadon with your Imperial Fist as like a cheaper DLC. Yeah, video game cucumber. Yeah, yep. Stuff like that, and probably the more like major, like divergent chapters, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and all those will either be like a major faction DLC or like a release kind of in their own right with all their units and everything. Not even the chat. Yeah, who knows who the chapter master is? I don't know. Dawn of War was amazing. I hope it's like that. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think Creative Assembly has learned some things putting out Warhammer Total War, and I think they can do a good job with it. Gregor what? What? Who is that? Who is that nobody? A chapter master of the Imperial Fist. Doing a great job, isn't he? Yeah, game 2 I can definitely see Guard. And then what they'll do with game 2 is they'll pick another big faction, either like Necrons or Tyranids, and they'll make them the big bad for the game 2, like game 2 launch. They'll probably put out something like Dark Eldar and, you know, Adeptus Mechanicus or something like that. But you kind of have to do 2 good guys, 2 bad guy factions. Yeah, it definitely is going to be the most milked game, and I will probably be spending a lot of money on that game. Because I do like me some Total War. Chills on the Phalanx. Yeah, he's just on vacation, like permanent vacation. New missions, command insertion is going to be fun with Thousand Suns. So mags from one side of the board to the other to kill everything. See the opponent's deep. Oh, really? I need to go through and read those again. Yeah, cool stuff. New missions will be fun. Hopefully they're good. I'm impressed GW put the word action in there. Tough for some armies that don't take battle on you. Yeah, I think that's the point, is to kind of force armies or push armies into taking more battle line units. Which I think is good, because that makes sense. To have battle line units in your army. We used to call them troop choice and used to have to take them. Did they have force organization charts in 9th? What was the rules for 9th? It was only so many of each type, right? I don't remember how 9th army building went. Gargoyles being battle line is borderline abuse. Yeah, and they're and gargoyles are like way too good also. I still don't think they're as bad to paint as like Genestealer Cult units. Like Neophytes. Neophytes are more annoying to paint than gargoyles. Yeah, you chose that life. That's true. Yeah. Point still stands, though. How you doing, Mydro? I am a fan of more battle line units. I think I like it when the game is not like as super killy. I ain't cool but well otherwise. Ah, oh, that sucks. Sucks, man. Yeah, we're doing well. Painting Son has his last full day of school. It's his field day today. We had a rough morning, so hopefully he's having a better morning, because I feel kind of crummy that he's had a rough morning. So This guy shouldn't take too long. We are going to, after this gold, we're going to try to get this base going as much as we can. And just try to finish this mini this morning. And I will also show you guys, I never showed you guys the finished robots. Happy with how they turned out. Wouldn't mind. Not like totally opposed to painting more of those. I can have like 15 of them in an army. I don't have the points to have 15 of them. That would be awful. But I don't know. Four or six is probably a max number for those. Excuse me. Yeah. And man, we got announcements on Saturday, which is exciting for a bunch of games. Those of you who are Age of Sigmar enthusiasts, you got announcements on Friday, right? So good stuff all around. Those pieces. We're going to do one more thing. Some white gold. Not to be overly negative, but GW is really killing my desire to see announcements. You know, a goat load of stuff. Most of it's underproduced. Raising the price year over year. Yeah. What are you talking about, man? They've been doing that for the past, like, 15 years. They used to do one release a month. And it wasn't like one release per game per month. It was like one release per month. That was it. So they had, you know, White Dwarf magazine focused on the new stuff, and you know, maybe it was a new codex, maybe not, maybe it was just new minis for a particular faction. You know, never really knew going from month to month. But yeah, every week, like new armies, new codexes, new everything for all their games. It's crazy. A crazy fast release schedule. I understand. I think the oldest rumor engine is like 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, there's a website that tracks that, and they'll show you the oldest one. I think there was one that was almost 5 years old before it was actually revealed. This backlog to address? They were just marketing from one third. No, no, definitely not. No. they just crank those rumor engines out to like try to mess with leaks and everything. Because I think leaks and everything got so bad that they had to do something to be like, ha ha ha, we're part of the fun too, and then yeah. You know, Choach, I would honestly believe that those were real leaks, mainly because Games Workshop spent the first like 35 years of their company's life bragging that they didn't have a marketing team. So, yeah, I would believe that that stuff was actually being leaked and they had no idea how to deal with it. Monument, to dark plum, dark gray blue, jeans blue for highlights, or metallic, medium, and transparent blue. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. I've never messed the metallic medium with a transparent paint. I know it doesn't work. It doesn't look super good with the normal acrylics. It just kind of desaturates them. They don't look super good. But the transparents might be a little different. You're seeing the CFO leave and sell their stocks off. Great indicator. Yeah, I mean, when did that happen? Because GW has been, their whole company's been doing insanely well for the past. All was that a few weeks ago? I don't know. When they're selling their stocks? Yeah. Hey, who knows? GW's been doing really well though the past like 10 solid years. I don't see much of a sign of things slowing down. That's just me though. One of the big things GW does differently than other companies is they don't carry any debt. It's weird. Like a lot of companies carry a lot of debt to like, invest in things and everything. GW doesn't do that at all. Try mixing a Prochrome metallic medium with regular paints. I have, and it doesn't work how you want it to. It just desaturates the paint. It looks like, I don't know, weird faded glittery. Not particularly great. Yeah, well, yeah, you got game companies like Asmodee, which is bigger than GW, that kind of does similar things, but they don't push their games as much because that's all GW does. So that's the difference. Asmodee, like, they own a ton of different things. Metallic blue on top of dried metallic medium. Oh, on top of the dried metallic medium. Interesting. That is a cool idea. Alright, so we got that white gold on there. I'm going to show you guys. These are the robots here. Robot number 1. And robot number 2. They say, yeah, you put a silver base coat down, then you put a clear red over it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mix the metallics or anything. So, yeah, that's... But yeah, putting the... I don't put the medium down, I actually put like I put gold down. It's Vallejo metal colored gold. It has just like a slightly warm hue to it. Also, oh, we're going to work on the base. Okay. A little bit of color on this base. Start here. Okay, let's put down some ivory. That'll be our first coat. We'll let those dry and we'll get back to our prey tour here. Well, a big thing to think about with GW and their financial future is, me personally, I have all the minis I could probably ever use in any kind of realistic capacity, but also I have the means to make more, and I know people to play. So, like, if GW were to go under tomorrow, so, like that would suck. Like, I want new things. There's always stuff I want to come out, but not the end of the world for me. 3D printers will sell like hotcakes if that happens. It'll probably ruin my whole business of painting miniatures, to be honest. But yeah, I'll learn and adapt, right? That's the key. Okay. Those are going. We have this white gold down, so we're just gonna go ahead. Started with it here. Have you ever done lessons? Not specifically painting lessons, no. I do technically have, I have an option on my Patreon for that. If someone wanted lessons, but I think that needs adjusted a little bit. Need to figure out a little bit with it and kind of refine the whole process, but. Cool one day. Imagine it's kind of involved getting everything set up so you can see what your student's doing. Yeah, because it'd have to be like over video and everything, and kind of a bit. It's fine. It's fine. You wouldn't happen to have cackle paste you'd recommend? So it depends on what you want to do with the crackle paste or whatever. I do own a couple different crackle pastes that I've purchased for basing reasons, basically. And what I've noticed is if you just buy the medium, then when you add colors to it, the colors get really desaturated. Cackle paste, like laughing paste. So like if you want to make a black crackle effect, you can't just buy crackle paste and add black paint to it, because you'll end up with gray crackle paste. Or if you add too much paint, the entire effect doesn't work. So there's like a balancing act. Does GW still make their crackle? They have one that was like it was like Mortian Earth or something, maybe. I don't remember if that one was crackle or not. Yeah, so the key if you're looking for a crackle paste is find something in the color you want that's already pre-made, because I imagine inks might help, but even then, the more you add to those mediums, if you buy just the medium, the less of a crackle effect you get. So just a reminder, tomorrow I'm going to stream, but I'm going to be ending this stream early. Because the Painting Son has a half day, or not half day, but he's got an early release from school. So Need to make sure I'm able to get him off the bus. Be doing that, but I'll be painting tomorrow on stream. Yeah, we have had some rain. Oh man, funny story about the rain. Painting Son had baseball practice last night, and it was raining all day yesterday. Uh, actually, both of his coaches weren't able to be at practice, so there's someone that's kind of been helping, who kind of volunteered to take over practice, and so he told everybody, he's like, hey, we're still gonna do practice. It's like we're doing like uniform pickups. We got their pickup, and as long as it's not lightning out, we're gonna do practice, and we're gonna practice sliding into bases and like learning positions and stuff, because there's only so much you can do in the rain and mud for baseball. So yeah, we get there, and he has all the kids go to first base. He's like, all right, run to second, run to third, and then slide into home. And so all these kids were just getting caked in mud, just completely covered in mud, including the painting son. And he's not one that like likes to get like muddy and dirty and everything. So I think he was kind of hating it. I think it was his least favorite practice, but yeah, so they're like, coach, he did that with them for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And he's like, all right, he's like, practice is done, guys, go home. That was it. He just ran those kids ragged in 20 minutes and then called it. Doing a cartwheel on a base, I have no idea. I don't know the specifics of baseball. I didn't even think that they were allowed to slide at their age. So when I was a kid, my teacher used to make us spar in the dark. Oh my gosh. Sounds like a good way to get like hit in the eye and everything. Jeez, yeah, no kidding. Painting Son was interested in doing some kind of martial arts, and we went to a nephew of mine does, is it taekwondo? I don't remember exactly what the martial arts he was doing, but he was getting his black belt, and so he went to his ceremony, and I took the Painting Son with me. I was like, hey, we'll watch the ceremony and see if you like it, and everything, and we can kind of celebrate with the nephew. Hey, Raja, thank you. And we went there, and it was in this little tiny dojo, and I don't think their air conditioning worked, and we had to stand in the back, like cramped up with a bunch of people. And it was, we were there for about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, and they were still in the middle of like doing demonstrations and everything, and I was like, all right, we are we're gonna head out. And I was like, is this something you're interested in? He's like, no. I was like, okay. I was like, that's fair. How are you doing this morning, Raja? The super official with people getting all quiet and thinking about how important the upgrade is. No, there were a couple people going for black belt, and they had to like write essays. And so their guy, I don't know what the master or whatever, made them read out, like he picked like an excerpt from their essay, and they had to read it out to everybody. Um, and then they literally did like it was an hour and a half of just like everybody going through their forms and everything, and that at that point we decided to head out because like I was sweating. Painting some was like bored to tears. Um, but yeah, I understand. Like you want to make it special, especially for like a black belt. Like it's a big deal, so you make it a big deal. But there was a lot more than just like black belt stuff. It was like a whole thing. Right, a big letter to the guys over in Japan explaining how important it was to me and why I deserved it. They rejected me. Your high kicks need some work. Oh no. Was it actually people in Japan, or was it like writing letters to Santa? And it was actually like your dojo leader was like, sorry kid, good luck next time. Black belt's approved by the head honcho in Japan. Oh really? Wow. Okay. Where would they do the ceremony? Like he's not going to every like karate dojo to do the ceremony, right? In Toronto. Okay. States Lodge just broke off and did their own thing. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Not in the old Canadian wilderness, though, huh? Hey, Gosu. How you doing, man? Doing well this morning. Okay, cool. Did we finish all this red? Let's see. It's kind of raining pretty gently outside right now, but it's nice. I still have the window open. Alright, sweet. Hey, retired 11B. Yep, back to the Thousand Suns. Just during the Olympics, none of the Americans have badges saying they're part of global federations. Oh, okay, interesting. I've never seen Karate Olympics, so... right, gonna print up some Predator tanks today. I think finish building my Eternus Blade. First Prince AOS model. Cool. Right. I have to do a little bit of work on my printer, but I need to replace the magnet on the... like the magnetic plate magnet, because it's pulling away. So I'm going to start that today. I'm going to clean and sand it and everything today. Yeah, retired 11B. I finished a couple Thousand Suns minis yesterday. These, two of these guys. They're psychically controlled robots, the Castellex Akia. So finished these two yesterday. Here's the other one. And yeah, today I'm working on this commander here. Just to have something else to put on the table on Sunday. I think we finish this guy today, get him all done, which I think we should. We're almost done with him anyway, but I'm going to start on some Vampire Count minis. Or continue some Vampire Count minis, rather. Okay. Let you dry. Back to you. We need a dark gray. And then silver, and I think that's about it. Okay, I'm gonna mix our warm gray into this. I find it kind of funny that they have part of the big video game announcement thing next week is Space Marine 2. And that game has been part of these big announcement things for years now. They still have nothing. I'm pretty sure it was originally supposed to come out in 2022. They've pushed it back so much that, you know, who knows when. Okay. Warm gray here. I'm excited for like Battle Sectors get an announcement, Total Wars get an announcement. Some, you know, some cool stuff to look forward to. Alright, cool. That was quick and easy for that. Those colors look dry, so let's get our wash onto here. Didn't dry, that's alright. It's a base, it doesn't matter. Not with everything else I'm going to do to this base, so... The matchup is Tactical Rock, though. Okay, so silver is probably one of our last highlights on this mini. What I'm going to do is just take bright silver, or just silver is what it's called. A little bit of that. Anybody painting anything right now? You guys working on any hobby projects? Or just working? Yeah, I want to do blue for my Night Lord's kill team. Okay, okay. What kind of crazy enamel paint combination you got in your head? New enamel washes. Imitate really old steep blood gore. Oh, that's cool. Alright. That's a neat idea. Brighter blue, okay. Mix of Talisar and Striking Scorpion green, and then I'm going to turn these down. These guys on bases like they're on a Space Hulk, which works for that definitely makes sense for something like a kill team, right? I can see that. Hey Fraser, what's up? Galadark Space Season Space Hulk terrain. Here we go. Yeah, and you can kind of like match the color schemes and stuff. It'd be really cool. Okay, so I guess while that's drying, a little bit of this. Fraser, how you doing this morning? or afternoon, depending on where you are. A little sad. Ruined a model last night. How'd you ruin a model? What model was it? You know, I gotta tell you, Fraser, you tried highlights. Sounds like maybe they didn't go as you planned. And that's honestly that's all right. Like that's part of painting is trying things and figuring them out. Doesn't mean you ruined anything. You can always paint over minis. Really hard to actually ruin a miniature, especially a plastic one. Yeah, just paint over it. There you go. Paint over it, and if it gets too thick and horrible, then you can strip it down, which is also really easy. Just takes a little bit of time. Doesn't even take a lot of effort, it just takes time. As long as you're learning something from it, it is not a wasted experience or ruining anything. Like you're figuring it out. Put it in whips. Let's see. It's honestly not too bad. I think I think if anything that you could have done better was adding more shadows on the mini. So taking a wash and putting it on that green armor, whether it's like a dark green or a brown or a black, putting that wash on the mini first, letting it dry, and then start like building up a little bit. Um, your actual like highlights aren't they're not bad, not at all. No, you're definitely being a little harsh on yourself, I think. Highlights are tough to do. They're hard to like grasp. The only way to figure out how to do highlights is to try it. You have to do it. Eventually, what's going to happen is things are going to start to click in your brain about like where you put highlights, how you put them down, how you hold your brush. It's yeah, you did fine. You did totally fine. I think working more with shadows as well and the recesses on that armor will probably do a lot to help improve the look overall. But no, your highlights were fine, especially for like a first time You know, first time trying to highlight and everything. Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. We start posting our first time highlighting miniatures, it's gonna be bad. Yeah, yeah. You just have to be okay with failing, you know, while you're learning how to paint these minis. That's just part of the process. A little more. Models would you recommend for new Dark Angels army? Whatever you think is cool. British Horse. Welcome into the stream, by the way. Um, yeah, it's collecting Warhammer, man. Look at the models that are cool. Like, buy a box of Intercessors. Those are simple. Buy a Combat Patrol, which is like a discount box. You know, buy a box or two, and see if you like painting them. See if you think they're cool, and then go from there. If you really want, make a 2,000 point army list and kind of make that a goal for collecting. But yeah, I typically don't recommend like looking at what's good and only buying that, because what happens, British Horse, is every 3 months or so the whole meta gets flipped on its head and like everything changes. So that's just, you know, like you shouldn't collect what's good. Like, there are certain units that, you know, probably stay pretty good, pretty competitive, but I mean, in general, collect what's cool. You know, you'll get an army, have fun with your friends.
It's cold. Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
I have my water cup here. Thank you for the hydrate. Yo, Panic, what's going on, man? Then your paint's a large amount. 3/4 water, 1 part paint. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Zen has a good guide. I wonder if I don't know anything. Oh, if I can't blend or glaze, just keep failing. Well, I mean, Fraser, you're asking questions, you're getting answers. You know, that's part of it. Like, you're not gonna feel like you know what you're doing until you finally know what you're doing. So, yeah. They were amazing. After I finished my nights, they sucked. Yeah. Phone, how you doing? What's up, man? This is our dude here. I think I'm happy with this mini. We just need to do the base, which is still drying. So while this dries, we'll come back to this and his like little foot stand here. It's not glued. Okay, it's just his one foot that's glued. We're gonna do his base today. We are That variant of Terminator armor looks incredible. Yeah, this is the Tartarus armor, but he's got like all kinds of extra details, right? His shoulder pads are really cool. Lots of dangly bits. Is that the cool like loincloth thing? Yeah. You don't have to be sorry for being sad, Fraser. We're just trying to be encouraging, right? Yeah, this dude should look fancy. He will be walking in the halls of his own Mortalis game. It'll be good. I didn't learn how to blend until maybe like 10 years into, more than 10 years. Well over 10 years into painting minis. But I also didn't have, like, Twitch didn't exist, YouTube didn't exist. Like, there were some internet forums, but they were terrible. So it was like reading White Dwarf magazines and like trusting the magazine article to like help you how to do it, and I had no one to ask. So, yeah. Been painting in a painting groove lately. Really leaned into painting Elf Space Pirate Band. Whoa, okay. Finally moved to my 11 paint palette with some Infinity Dudes. Wow, okay, cool. Very nice, Kill Panic. Crestus Mechanicus, the brush that removes Tartarus armor. Okay, alright. The Tartar. Cool. We're getting some Thousand Suns done. What I want to do next. Yeah, I think what it's time to do is to get some vampire counts, because I gotta let this base dry. This has to dry before I can do anything else with it. So we're gonna get these vampire counts back out. Which, by the way, I played a game with these last Friday. Just a little test game, trying out the rules. These guys were awesome. They done good. What I'm gonna do... We're going to use some brown wash from Pro Acryl, which I normally don't use. Drops. I feel like it'll work well here, though. We're going to use some glaze and wash medium. Since nobody asked, it's 9 Chimera paints. Cool primaries, warm secondaries, Pro Acryl titanium, white coal, black. Much control over exact tint and hue. Lets me incorporate. Oh, so you're like mixing all your paints then. You're doing all of that. That's cool. That's really cool. I'll do some flow improver in here. Okay, 4 drops of strong tone. No, 4 drops of brown wash, Pro Acryl brown wash. 4 drops of flow improver. And 2 big drops of the Monument Glaze and Wash medium. Everything's hand mixed. Even as an exercise, great to practice. To really think about what pigment in particular the color is. Yeah, that's really interesting. You're painting infinity models with that? I don't think I want to get anything on his wings. If I can help it. Hak Islam Daylami. Okay. Ooh, I am very, very vaguely familiar with Infinity or in factions. All right, one down. Ooh. Get this next one. Sneaky light infantry types. Okay, okay. Is that like kind of the faction identity there, or is that just that particular unit? Hey, Jinbin. How are you doing this morning? It is still morning. Yep, it's still morning. Raise is relevant. What's going on? Toolbox army, lots of tricks. Cheap sneaky light infantry, but this is okay. Alright. Very cool. Got work in a couple hours. Well, thank you for choosing to spend some time to chill in my stream. I appreciate that. Right, I do need some more paint here. It's at 414. So 1 drop of this glaze and wash medium. Hey, Lagostas, how are you doing? Welcome in, my YouTube friend. How's your day going? I am painting some more Thousand Suns, but while I have some things drying, I am working on some vampire counts for the old world. Just, you know, trying to maximize my time here. We're gonna finish putting this wash on these Wargeists. We'll come back and see what we got going with our Thousand Suns minis. We finished the minis we were working on yesterday. So they are based up and varnished and good to go. We're working on a Praetor, which is like a captain level character. Take my painting wife to the Costco. Alright, you enjoy your Costco trip. Have a good one, Killpan. Thanks for dropping by, man. And I honestly, painting these vampire counts for the most part, I'm just kind of making it up as I go with the colors on them, especially a lot of these monsters and everything. I had painted some test minis for the skeletons in my army, but then you realize that skeletons are only like one part of it, and everything else has so many different colors. Like just as an army, that's just kind of how they're set up. So I'm relying on just coming up with color schemes as I go, just trying to make interesting things happen. See, they're drying up. Let's see how this is still wet. This is the mini I've painted. I finished up today. I think I got his like main mohawk, back mohawk thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the Vargeists are drying. That's looking good. I don't want to do one. Maybe we can do a little more vibrant blue. Well, cool. I mean, that should be another character painted up. Get this base going. Was looking up some ideas on how to paint zombies, so I think I have some plans of actually painting the zombies for my my vampire accounts when that time comes. Not as intimidated, even though there's 40 of them. There's a lot, but alright guys, I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Finally out of meetings. You been super busy today, or has it just been meetings? It's waiting for these dang bases to dry. This one base. And then I painted these other minis, and now I have to wait for them to dry. So, not planning this out super well. This is why I paint 20 minis at a time usually, because everything's dry by the time the first thing's done. Or by the time the last thing's done. This Wednesday, next Wednesday, and Memorial Day. Oh, well, that's cool. Alright. Wait, today is Wednesday. You're saying that, like, this coming Wednesday? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I need to, after stream today, I'm going to try to replace that magnet on my my build plate on my printer. And I have to like measurements for a water softener system. I have one of those coming in. I have to like make sure, like verify everywhere it can go. I gotta do that. What else do I have to do? If I can finish this guy today, I might just get this guy all primed and assembled and everything. Yeah, my parents are coming in town. My dad's gonna help me install it. So yeah, I don't see. It's never been something we've thought of, and our water is so hard. And we want to get some other appliances we have on the list to get. Some like water-based appliances. And we were just, yeah, it's so hard. Yep. So we were just thinking, it's like well water on steroids. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. They were like, before we get all these appliances, maybe we should just get like a water softener so we don't destroy all of our appliances. Yeah, and drinking hard water isn't great for you, and like, yeah, I think just getting a water softener will change a lot. So 15K on this crazy water filtration system that never works. What? Too much iron in my water apparently leaves behind orange stains in my bathroom faucets. Weird. I would get fired up about it too if I spent $15,000 on a water filtration system that didn't work. I'm getting a salt-free water softener. So it uses filters. So we're going to try it. I don't have to pay for installation, so it's because my dad is installing it, so that'll be nice. Yeah, I don't think we have high iron in our water, but it's like calcium and like the pH level is all out of whack and everything, and it's just not good. On paint dry. This is a watch paint dry kind of stream, guys. Easy install. Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's right, Zen. But you know what? I don't mess with is plumbing. So, or electrical work. Or any kind of carpentry. I don't mess with a lot. I'm not a very handy person. Could I figure it out? Eventually I would figure it out. It would take many trips to the hardware store, and a full day of frustration, but I think eventually I'd figure it out. Or my parents are coming in town. They asked what we wanted done. I told them, and my dad was like, "Yeah, that'll I'll go over one. I'll be there one morning, and we'll just put that in. Should be fine." Like, sure. Almost shorted out my fuse box once. I was like, nope. Oh yeah. No more electrician goes soon. Yeah. So like, I bought more floating shells to put in my game room because I have no more storage space for my minis. So floating shelves are my best bet. I will install floating shelves. All right, I'll do that. That's about my limit. But yeah, I'll drill a hole in the wall. I have a stud finder that also looks for electrical wires, so I don't drill into electrical wires. So that's nice. Yeah, dude, floating shells are really cheap. Like you can find like really cheap ones, and they're perfect for holding minis because minis weigh practically nothing, and the floating shells are like 10 pound limit. I'm like, that's fine, because finding 10 pounds of miniatures to fit on a shelf is insane. Like you have to be like crazy hoarder level, like piling minis up on a shelf to meet that weight limit. Maybe new minis, just stacking boxes. Your Eldar will topple a shelf instant. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you got metal minis, although like I have one of my armies on one of my floating shelves. I have these little like 18-inch, I think they're 18 or 24-inch. I can't remember floating shelves, and one of them has my Lord of the Rings, my Middle Earth dwarf army, which is mostly metal, but they're little. So worst thing that happened to me with electrical stuff was when I was swapping out all those 2-prong outlets to 3-prong. Bathroom was powered down, one outlet, and there was a separate breaker. Oh no! Ooh, that's sketchy. My Cerastus weighs a ton since I made space out of bark and rocks. That's true. When you start putting rocks in all their bases. Man, I love my little robots. So cool. Fun thing about these, they're small. They're not like giant. Like this is the guy. Let's see, line up the bases here compared to a Leviathan Dreadnought. Oh, he's just a little guy. But you know, he's got some weapons on him. He's pretty tall. Yeah, I mean he's a lot taller than like a Marine. So, you know, you line these guys up. They're about twice the height of a Marine. Just so cool. And this did not cost me $90, which was also nice. It's nice not paying $90 for a miniature. Yeah. Tripping on 30K AdMech model prices. Yeah, they're tripping all the 30K resin prices. Yeah. Yeah, at least my $90 mini is 140 points in game, right? Yeah, and it's just one of them, Zen. It's just one of these. You know, and you could take them to units of like 5. It's like why? I don't know why. But you know, it's Forge World. That's Forge World prices. So yeah, this one cost me a dollar. $1 and one build plate. The base was needed to be an extra, but I could put that base on the build plate. I could make these an all-in-one print. Because on the build plate for this, I put on a bunch of extra weapons and then decided I wasn't going to magnetize weapons after that. So no, the link didn't work because it sent me to okay, oh, they're $83. 83. So there you go. A little more than dollar, factoring cost of equipment. Yeah, it's fair. But I mean, I got to factor in the 15 hours I'll spend cleaning the resin and unwarping it from the Forge World mini. So I'll take my my, my $1. When you put minis into like Cheeto Box, it'll, which is like the STL like slicer program to so you can like actually print your minis. Um, it actually tells you, like, it asks you how much your resin costs for how much. So it's like, I have a kilo of resin, it costs $35, and then when you actually slice your mini, it'll tell you how much it'll cost to print that mini in resin, which is a really nifty and like random feature, but it's really cool. I think it helps for people who make a business, like a living out of printing minis for people, because they have like an actual material cost. This will be like 15 minutes to finish painting this thing as soon as these dumb washes dry. Yeah, the slicers are free. Yeah. I use Cheeto Box. Lychee is another one that a lot of people seem to get really defensive about their slicers, but I think they're both fine. I use Cheeto Box is what I started with. That's what Elegoo recommended, so that's what I went with. Um, yeah, but like I've had people come in here and I mentioned Cheeto Box and they're just like, Cheeto Box sucks. Lychee's the only way to go. And then like there are other people like Cheeto Box is better, like Lychee sucks, and like it's just the back and forth. Yeah, different UIs. Yeah, they both do the same thing. I'm sure they each do something a little better than the other one, but at the end of the day, I slice my minis, my files on Cheeto Box, and they print out just fine. So, all right, I might be at a place, I think, where I can do this. Let's dry brush. Yeah, I think the opinion that I trust the most to talk about which software is better is Once in a Six Side is a YouTuber, like a mini printing YouTuber, makes really high quality videos and everything, and he uses both. So I don't think he ever mentions an opinion one way or the other of one being better. So really not putting the right amount of paint on my brush here. It is, we should do content was 50 minutes. I agree with that. I agree with that, Zen. Yeah, he makes some really long-winded videos. Yeah, it's like another hour worth of listening every week, or I mean, he only puts out a video every other week or so, but it's like trying to, I don't know, it's like a commitment to try to fit in listening yet another hour's worth of content. Okay, we did that. Back to the next thing. Got some bright gold. Mostly niche videos related to resin 3D printing. Don't pique my interest. Yeah. Yep. A lot of his new stuff is like reviewing printers, right? Like printers and resin. Like that's what he does a lot. And I think it's more, I don't know if, because I know he got laid off from like his real job, and so he's like, I'm going to try to make this a thing. I don't know if it's just him trying to, you know, put stuff out there. Because he used to put out a video like every month maybe, or less frequent. He had really good content. Like his content's still really good. It's not the same type of topics that he's covering that he used to cover. Okay, we got that. Like I said, all I needed to do was let that wash dry and I could finish this base really quick. I did see Adeptus Ridiculous is about typhus. A whole video about him. So this particular base, I've had this base topper printed and glued on this base for probably somewhere close to a year. The actual resin on this base is the old water washable resin I was using. But some of that stuff I put I kind of set it aside. I'm like, well, yeah, of course I'll need another 40 mil base, you know, with the topper on it. So I'll just save this. And then when it comes around, I'm painting a mini that goes on a 40 mil base. I don't think about it. And I just print another base topper, put it on the base, and then I'm done. So I was finally doing this, you know, messing with this mini last night. I was like, I know I have a base out there somewhere. There might be one that's actually painted too. And so I looked around. I didn't find one painted, but I found this one that was already glued and everything. So good. How you doing, Night Ninja? What is up? Night Ninja, I believe, if you're the one with the Votan, right? Do I remember that correctly? The Votan Commission. Just watching and working. That's good. I'm glad. Glad you're doing well. Okay. I have not forgotten. I have minis on order still. Apparently those Hernkin Pioneers or whatever they are very popular. They have been on order for a couple weeks now at my store, so I'm just waiting for those to come in. As soon as those come in, I think I'll be just starting on your project, and I'll be getting right into it. So I have not forgotten about you. I'll let you know. I've been meaning to message you on Discord to let you know, and then it just like slips my mind. Old drive? It is, we can... Time is outdoor stuff for me. Okay, good, good. You can play Warhammer outdoors. Can you imagine going to a park, like a public park, and like bringing a table, like a folding table with you, and then you and your friend just like pull out Warhammer minis, and you're playing in a public park? It sounds nice to play Warhammer outside, to be honest. Like, Maybe no giveaway entry is. Oh, you know what? Is that Call for Fire? Call for Fire? I gotta tell you, we actually are going to have a giveaway this month, and that giveaway is going to be a miniature paint handle from Foxbite. So if you are chilling and you have channel points, you can redeem those channel points. At the beginning of June, I will do a giveaway drawing, and whoever wins will get a miniature paint handle from Foxbite. So get those giveaway entries in there. It's a lot of channel points, but I stream a lot, so you guys have plenty of time to get those. You just use yours. Did you redeem it? I've had issues. I haven't done it yet, so I've been busy with other things. I haven't got to like correcting all this stuff since I started using Restream to stream on YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, I don't know why that notification didn't work. I'm gonna write all that down. All right, this stuff. Yeah, my alerts are a little weird. Well, that one worked. Thanks, Raja, for subscribing. I appreciate you testing my sound alerts. Yeah, so the one for the giveaway entry. I thought I had one for the giveaway entry. I did have one for the giveaway entry. Look at this now. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'll look at it. Went to Virginia and met up with some friends. Played Blood Bowl in the back of a Jeep outside of Target. Two girls came to ask us a bunch of questions what we were doing for like 7 minutes. You thought you were dealing drugs and wanted some? That's hilarious. I got some plastic crack. You'd have some of that. Oh, man. You're thinking too, you're like, wow, these girls are interested in Warhammer stuff? Man, that's really cool. Nope, just wanted drugs. Cool. Base is done. You know what I have to do? Guess I forgot about this. I have to dry brush his little rock here. Then this mini will be done. What a good printed mini though. It just turned out really well. Cool. Nothing too crazy on there. All right. Vampire account guys, of course, you're still drying. Only a little bit annoying, guys. Well, if that's the case... guess we'll start on something else. By you, that's a good one to test. Got his brain shown and everything. All right. Giveaway sound alert's still bored. Yeah, okay. It should be tracking though. It should be tracking if you're submitting the giveaway stuff. Sorry about that. Can I use Horus Heresy bits of 40? Of course you can. Yeah. Yeah, and somewhat vice versa there. I have a 40k mini I'm going to use in my 30k army. It was undercoated and on the wheel of minis, but we'll just have to get around to that. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of experimenting here. Using Gilliman flesh. And I thinned it down, 1 part Gilliman flesh, 2 parts contrast medium. We're going to see how this goes over the zombie here if we get... I think it should be 3-to-1. Seeing here. This might work. Cool. Is he holding a mouse? Yeah, a dead rat. He is holding a dead rat in his hand. Without its head. That's funny. Couldn't find human brains, so he had to settle for rats. Yep. Ooh, I kind of like that color. That's a nice... It's kind of dead flesh. Yeah. There's more where that came from. Always more rats. He's got a tree branch growing out of him. That's cool, right? These minis were a lot of fun to assemble, by the way. I was surprised how much I enjoyed assembling these zombies. So my last game, well, my first game of the old world I played, I took zombies, and I took a unit of 20 of them, which I think is the minimum. And I'm like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my necromancers to add zombies to that regiment until other stuff starts taking casualties, and then I'll just start resurrecting them and let the zombies go, because zombies are trash and kind of worthless. So that's what I did. And what happened though is my opponent shot at the zombies first turn and killed one, and I was like, oh, okay. So I resurrected like 9. And then the next turn, he didn't kill anything that was near my necromancer that could raise stuff back from the dead. So I just raised more zombies. Raised like another 7. By the time my zombies made it in combat, instead of 20, I had like 38 that made it to combat. So I had this just giant mass of zombies, and it was great. And they ended up like they swamped over like the enemy unit and everything. It was really satisfying. The zombies won me the game. Let me grab a couple more. Some of these are wonky. I don't like the coffins in the back personally, but arm is healing correctly. Nice, Raja. Are you ready to get back to painting? Is that what's happening? Yeah, thanks, Raja. There are 2 things I think of when I think of zombies anymore. One is Red versus Blue with the Bryans and moaning, and the other one is their Halloween PSA or zombie PSA or whatever it was. The other thing is Topher from What We Do in the Shadows. Topher. You guys remember that? Anyone seen this show? The TV show, not the movie. It's a great show, by the way. Is that one of the Hobbit dwarves? Topher? No. I used to be able to name all 13 of the dwarves. I don't know if I can now. Let's see, there was Thorin, Balin, Dwalin, Gloin and Oin, Dori, Nori, and Ori, Ely and Keely, Bomber. Who else was there? I don't even know how many I've said. That was that 13. Okay. Well, whatever. There's not a Topher. Topher is not a dwarf. Topher is the kid from The Sixth Sense. It's not him. Who is it then? Who's the actor? I thought it was the Sixth Sense kid. I see dead people. Or it's someone else that was like a child actor, wasn't it? No, not Topher Grace. Not Topher Grace. No, his character name is Topher in What We Do in the Shadows. I know who Topher Grace is. He plays the best Venom. Topher Grace. Poor zombie stubbed her toe. All the skin fell off. Hey Tesla, how you doing? Let me start doing a range of motion with my shoulder. Nice. Good. Eddie Brock, doesn't it look like his dad tells him breaks? Yeah. That's right, Zen. That's right. You know what's great about Topher Grace is all the cast of that '70s show always complained about he how he never like hung out with him outside of like filming and stuff, and like how he wasn't like super friendly to anybody and everything. What turns out they were all Scientologists, and they were just trying to like recruit him into their like Scientology thing, and he was like, no thanks. So like the whole like cast is in Scientology except for Topher Grace. Um, I'm doing great, Tesla. Doing great. Getting some minis painted. Just we're just watching paint dry today is basically what we're doing. Oh, she's got a whole other hand in her hand. So something about that. Saving a snack for later. You know? That's good, Raja. Finally get those custodies painted, right? I gotta think of these dwarves now. Let's see. I'm gonna count it out. Thorin, Balin, Dwalin, Dori, Nori, Ori, Biffer, and Bomber. There's Keely, Keely. Missing. How can I be missing 3 of them? The unimportant ones. Oh, duh. Oin, Gloin, and then Boffer. Okay. Boffer. Let's see. Yeah, Biffer and Boffer and Bomber. Okay. Wasn't sure if there were 2 of those. Missing Biffer, Boffer, and Bomber. Yeah, I the second time I was going through, I forgot Oin and Gloin and then Biffer. So, yep. I read The Hobbit to my son, and it was like 2 years ago when we finished The Hobbit. But by the time we finished The Hobbit, like I felt like I knew everything about The Hobbit. You know, I got all the names down, got all the things, and just yeah, only stays for so long. Lady's got a shank taken with her to the grave. Playing a game against Choach tonight. I'll be running Necron's teleporting list. Why are you are you just taking random stuff? You have to take one monolith in that list. Because that whole detachment's built around the monolith. So take a monolith, give it the one shot sustain D3 weapons. Those are the only good ones to give it. Don't give it the other ones. What 2 units of immortals? Probably just one Catan is probably enough. Yeah, Canoptic Wraiths are still good, even in that list. Um, the Canoptic Doomstalkers are really good, and they're cheap. Those are really good. They hit really hard. Yeah. Yeah, jumpy stuff. Immortals. I didn't say that already. Oh yeah, yeah, 100% Immortals over Warriors. Random tree branch coming out of him. Tree branch coming out of this. I think just about all of them have tree branches sticking out of them. Or roots. Yeah, Immortals with a Plasmancer. And then either one of the weapons on them, the Gauss or the Tesla weapons, both of those are insanely strong. The Tesla weapons just throw out, like, you'll shoot 20 times and you'll hit 30 times and you'll wound like 25 times. If you put Illuminor Ceres in your list, you can get an extra AP on all those weapons. So makes them hit extra hard, especially those Tesla weapons, because I don't think they inherently have AP. These are kind of my tests for these zombies, guys. Yeah, but I mean, AP isn't like the biggest deal. Like, AP 1 never really matters unless you get like ignores cover. But you know, situationally, it's nice. But going something from like AP 1 to 2 is a really big deal. Even like AP 2 to 3. Anything beyond that's just kind of overkill. Especially an anti-infantry weapon, because I can't think of an infantry unit or like a low toughness unit that has a high armor save and no invulnerable save. Doesn't seem like that happens very often. I think what I'm going to do, there's maybe like 15 of the 30 or the 40 that have these, that are nailed to their coffins like this. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use my basing material and put it on top of these coffins. They're coming out of the ground that way. I think these are all these stakes here. He doesn't have any coming through a chest, but some of these guys have stakes going all the way through, which is cool. Especially for like a modular set like it was. There's a lot of interesting things GW did with this set. Is he playing his Thousand Sons? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting like mobility fight. His Thousand Sons have a decent amount of mobility. They're rat. There. Okay, we'll put you up. Take a look at this guy again. Just make sure we're happy with him. I think we're happy with him. Give him a good coat of varnish. Back with the matte varnish, and he should be good. Really well. And yeah, his base is all set. He's also get some varnish. Ooh, and that's like 3,000 Suns minutes finished in 2 days. Feels good. And grab this Tyrian Navy. Blackish blue. Try to stick with some of the army kind of themed colors. We need to mix it up because they're zombies. They're not like skeletons. They weren't soldiers. They're just normal people. So you don't want to be sticking completely with a uniform color. Be like a swarm list. Okay. You gotta take the monolith though. Yeah, keep that monolith alive. I don't think Thousand Suns have a ton of like heavy hitting shots that can do a lot to your monolith. You just have to watch out for Magnus, but I'm pretty sure a monolith with decent luck can one shot Magnus. So, and if you have the Doomstalkers, like Magnus won't be an issue. You'll be stuck hiding away. Primarchs are super easy to kill in 40k. They don't really hold up. Look at this lady's dress. And Necrons are cool. And they're really good right now too. Like they have good rules and everything, so they're kind of benefiting from actual good rules. Unlike 9th edition, I think they had a lot of really poor rules. They're really lazily written. some blue on this lady. This lady, I think I'm not going to do blue. I'm going to do a different color. We'll have to find a different dress color. Hey, the skin is drying, everybody. The color I want is voluptuous pink. Okay. Next one. Getting like inside the wounds. Warriors were better than Immortals because they serve the survivability. Yeah, so with things like Canoptek Court, you're not worrying about survivability. Like, that's not as big a deal because you have like all the mobility you could ever want. Stalker, Reanimator, 10 Lich Guard. Looks like fun to play. I don't know why you have like put Plasmancers with the Immortals. You don't need 4 squads of them though. Take 3 squads of Immortals. Take another Doomstalker. And take some Plasmancers instead of all the Overlords. Their Technomancer bonus for Immortals. The Technomancer gives Feel No Pain to the unit they're with, which is fine. The Plasmancer gives critical hits on a 5+. And Immortals have, like their Tesla weapon, it's sustained hits 2. And it's like 3 shots or whatever. So you can get... The average math is you hit more than you actually shoot. And so they put out a lot of firepower. Yeah, the Plasmancer is the best. The Technomancer is really good with stuff like Wraiths because it like makes them better at what they do, which is like their staying power. Because Wraiths are already very tanky, and the Technomancer giving them Feel No Pain. Like, Immortals are it's 10 wounds, and they're on a 3+ save, like for 10 of them. So giving a Feel No Pain, like, yeah, it'll help them last longer, but all the opponent has to do is kill 10 guys, like cause 10 wounds. Where something like the The wraiths are 4 wounds apiece. They have a 4-up invul and their toughness 6, I think. Like they're monsters. You take a unit of 6 of them, that's 24 wounds with a 4-up invuln. And then on top of that, you add the 5+ feel no pain. Like you get your value out of the Technomancer more on them. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a lot of value out of the overlords. And like Orican's all right, but again, like Orican, was he gonna go with the Lich Guard? He wouldn't go with the Lich Guard, would he? He'd go with Immortals probably, but like, you don't need to give him 4-up invulns. It's not gonna help him. If you want to run the list, that's fine. I got nothing against it. Yeah, that once per battle thing really sucks. I've used it before and it's worthless. Yeah, you're better off just getting a Plasmancer for that purpose. You don't need that again. Hey Harvey, how you doing? You're tired? Yeah. That. You're not doing cheese Catan. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you don't have to bring Catan. That's all right. Okay, let's do their shoes. You know what? Let's do their shoes in black because sure. It's kind of color testing on zombies. Looks like he has Crocs on. What's up with that? Crocs in the Age of Sigmar. There's a bit of wildwood I forgot about. Yeah, and like the reanimator in your list in is kind of limited value also. Because if you're going for mobility, like that reanimator has its little like 3-inch range, it's not going to be as useful as it might be in something else like Awakened Dynasty or the Canoptek Court or something. Yeah. Telling you, dude, when you put that Plasmancer in that squad and you throw out that dice that first time, you will never go back to Space Marines. When you're like, I just hit 30 times on 20 dice. There's ways to get like rerolls to wound or something, isn't there? Okay, we're gonna use this leg bear flesh for this dress. Yeah, I think like an ugly yellow. Poor lady's dress is caught on a tree branch or a stump or something. There we go. It's a cool like yellow dress. This thing I need a little bit of silver. Should I throw in score packs? Nah. I'm telling you, drop 10 of the immortals. And probably like oh well, Trazen's terrible too. I know it. I'm sure you're not like going for like let's just destroy Choach as hard as we can kind of list, but like 3 score packs will not get you anywhere. Like those aren't good. You need like 6 with the Destroyer Lord, like with the score pack Destroyer Lord, before they become anywhere effective. And even then, it needs to be in like the what's that? The Awakened Dynasty. Yeah, if you're just wanting to be like hey, look how hard this is to kill, then go Awaken Dynasty and put get yourself a bunch of warriors. Then you load them down with like shenanigans and stuff, because the Awakened Dynasty has the strats that like bring back units and bring back lords or characters and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine to give them a little like taste of what Necrons do. I want this lady to have some blonde hair. And I think we'll just use the Seraphim Sepia again. Save her colors.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Damage 9000. How are you doing? Just painting some zombies. Was working on some Thousand Suns. We kind of finished up the mini we were painting. I think I'm going to be done with them for the week. So I always have more to paint. Okay, we're using, this is Army Painter. Hardened leather, which I don't really like this color for leather. But, you know, for generic, for dress accessory kind of thing, maybe it works all right. It's like base colors on this mini, right? What we got. This mini basically has base colors. We can get some of the like grass things on there. This little rope belt. Probably gonna die, really, you think? Well, I'll tell you, if you kill the monolith, I think 4 out of the 6 strats he can't use anymore, so that's one thing. Just the monolith is hard to kill. Using some warm gray. So base colors on him basically done, and then this mini. Taking this black brown. Going over this base part because that'll end up getting basing material on there. I feel no pain. Yeah, it's really tough as it is. Like, I don't think it needs it. There are enough units in 40k with feel no pain. We don't need more. You bolting the thing into oblivion? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. The monolith doesn't have an invuln save. So Choji, you could turn its armor save off, and it actually works. You just turn all your weapons into what, AP 5 or whatever. Like I think the monolith is one of the is that one of the strats in that detachment? You give it, what is it, a 4-up? Do you give it a 4-up invuln or what? Okay, you give it the 4. So, okay, he can give it an invuln for a CP. So, you just got to make sure that keep him like always questioning if you can use that. Like, make sure you can use that. Which, at the very least, it gives all your weapons AP 2 or 3 at that point, with cover factored in and everything. So, there is still some use out of that. We're gonna use yellow-green. Okay. All the little bits of grass. Cool, so we give these a minute, and then we're going to do a wash on them. You know what I need to get? Belt, rope. Ring here. What if I watch the game later? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, stream it. Anybody streaming? Hey, Sectorix, what's up? That's good. Good to hear. We are messing around with some zombies here. I do not watch hockey, no. I enjoy going to hockey games. But I haven't been to a hockey game in years. But other than that, I really don't care for like watching sports in general. There's a big game tomorrow? Oh, cool. So yesterday we finished up our...
It's cold.
Cool. All right.
Now that's what I call high quality A2O.
I shall drink. All right. We finished up robots yesterday, and something I need to do. I'm going to do this while I wait for that paint to dry real quick. I put a little bit of this ultra matte varnish over these power cables because they're them being like satin. Some with me. I do commissions, yeah, Harvey. I'm a full-time commission painter. It was actually my job. Yeah, if you're ever interested in having something done, send me a message on Discord. Discord is the best way to get a hold of me. More than happy to chat with you about what you want done. Thank you, Miyati. Do a 40k night. I have never finished painting a 40k night. I definitely could. It wasn't like it was too difficult or too much for me. It was just I had a lot going on, and yeah, the mini wasn't like wasn't a priority, and it just kind of hasn't been. You want one to sit on your shelf? Yeah. You send me a message. Tell me your ideas, and I can try to figure something out with you. I'd love to paint a knight. That sounds like a ton of fun. These are not dreadnoughts. These are 30k minis, but they are Castellex Achaea. So Castellex is like a robot almost. It's not AI. It is basically controlled by someone with an implant in their brain. And Thousand Suns have their own unique Castellex that they control psychically. So big heresy, not allowed, but they still do it. That's what these are. These are Thousand Suns Castellex. Okay, cool. Did that. Crystal doll. Let's see what that does on everybody. Yeah, they are cool. Yep. They're terrible in the game. They suck. But they're really cool, though. Okay, and then this is the Praetor that we finished today. I need to varnish him, and I have his base here ready to go. So he'll get varnished, he'll get popped off this temporary base, glued on this one, and then we'll add the weathering powders and everything and make sure he's good to go. Another Praetor. I finally have another character for my army, and it's a dude in Terminator armor, so that's what I wanted. Alright, you guys, is your paint drying up? White. Yes. Yes, okay, here's what we'll do. We're gonna do 1-to-1, we're gonna do strong tone, so it says brown wash, kind of like Agrax. And flow improver. I was working on these Vargeist, but they're still a little wet. Wash on them. Those are 100% dry. An era of horde armies? No, not necessarily. No. I've seen the Green Tide stuff. I think what'll happen is, maybe it'll be more difficult choosing between just spamming anti-tank weapons and something else. So, which I'm cool with. Raja, I do use flow improver to thin my paints. Yeah, that's my typical usage. I don't usually use water to thin paints, so it's either a medium, like acrylic medium, or flow improver. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna use a big brush. These are test minis. Next one. Try something a little different. Let's just put down some pure wash and see how that looks. I think horde armies are cool, so like if horde armies are a thing in 40k, then I'm all about it. I'll break out all the Necron warriors. I have 60 Necron warriors I can get out. I'm alright with that. I could probably go with another 60 and be comfortable. Yeah, it's not necessarily like super fun to paint a horde army, but horde armies take forever to play. Okay, so this young lady has a pure brown wash, and I think I don't hate that. Both of them are fine. Probably okay with just the straight brown wash. I think it's more when you have rules like the Green Tide, where it's like when there's not much that can kill a Green Tide army. Like those are the kind of horde armies that'll be good. And we'll see if the Imperial Guard are like the real gauge for a horde army for me. Like if they will get a horde focused detachment, or if GW is going to screw them and give them like 3 detachments like they did with the Tau. I have heard Kroot are really good also. The Kroot detachment are kind of like the best way to play Tau apparently. So yeah, that's another horde army because you just take a ton of minis in that army. See my question earlier. Oh, yeah, Choches want, or Ponenators want to know if he can watch your guys' 40k game. You guys are going to stream it or post it or anything. Is Frosty's supposed to lay paint on someone? I just stopped moving. What are you talking about? Okay. I like that pure brown wash. Cool. Well, we got some washes on these guys. Minis still have wet paint. That gray tone, though. I don't know if I'm going to mess with that a whole lot more. Something like... Get their teeth. Wings are nice. Thank you, Smago. Yeah. They were a lot of fun to paint. I painted them last week maybe. I honestly don't know if I could remember which colors I was using. I think what I need to do... Yeah, I think this red-gray will be color to mess around with. About 1,000 Suns. Got a lot of the important things. Yeah, you just have to play a bunch to learn. You know, like that's all it is. That's how it is anytime you're trying something new, especially like 40k armies and everything. It takes a lot to learn all the nuances of an army, especially something like 1,000 Suns that are a really complicated one. It's alright, Choach. There's no pressure to be like the best at 40k, you know. Play the stuff you like. And what's nice about learning a complicated army first is if you ever go on to playing like a simple army, you're gonna pick it up real quick. And then probably be bored and go back to your complicated army. You were a samurai in a previous life. Is Zen going to like stream his game, or are you guys just gonna play it like screen share on Discord, or are you just gonna invite Pwn in? Curious, because I might want to stop by and see, but I'm not set on that. I don't need you to like playing around it either. In the game room. Okay. Cool. Right there. Some bright warm gray. Highlight this hair a little bit. Add a little bit of depth to it. Another reason to be thankful for being self-employed. CEO of my new company just told his dad gave him enough money to open an ISP. He was 18. He's been 6. Oh my god. Ugh. That's so annoying. Just like tells it like it's a normal story. Like, yeah, it happens to everybody, right? You guys just didn't know what to do with all the money your dad gave you. That's why you aren't successful. How to be successful. Yeah, step 1, have rich parents. Cool, alright. Which step 2 is know a bunch of rich people also. Yeah, I put myself on my own 2 hands. That always reminds me of, I think the first time I ever heard something like that was on Dodgeball when I was a kid. See the movie Dodgeball, and there's White Goodman. He's like, I built this gym with my own 2 hands and a $40 million inheritance from my uncle, from my dead uncle or whatever. Like that. Let's see how these zombies are doing. Right yet. Do another coat of just the pure brown wash on him. I like the zombie tone. We'll mess around with, like, you know, the highlights and fading the clothes and adding blood and gore and all that kind of stuff to these another time. But I got 40 of these zombies to paint, so it's a lot. Alright. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call stream a little early today. I'll be back on at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but yeah, I'm gonna chill for a little bit, but and get some things done. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming and chatting with me and chilling with me as I paint a bunch of minis. What's up? All right, Zen. Yeah, you have a good day. All right. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.